our last video for this lesson, we learned about the different terms of a polynomial, how to sort them in order by the highest degree down to the constant, and how to determine a leading coefficient. In this lesson, we're going to learn some special words for our polynomials based on their degree and the number of terms. So the first thing you need to know is that we always put the word for the degree first. So we could have a linear binomial or a cubic monomial, but these words should go first. For the most part, we don't go any higher than number 3. There's some cases where if we go to a 4th degree, that could be called a quintic. If we go to a 5th degree, that could be called a quartic, and so on. But for most purposes, we only use the first 3. There are still some special words after that. Now, let me show you some examples, and this will make a little more sense. Let's look at example A first. So the first thing we want to do is determine our highest degree. My highest degree here is the 3. So if I go to my table, here's 3, and my degree word for that would be the word cubic. Next, I can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. And if we go to our table, anytime we have 4 or more, we're just going to call it a polynomial. There's no special word for that. So this first polynomial, we're going to call it a cubic polynomial. Moving on to the next one, we can see that our degree is 2. If I go to my list here, I've got 2, and so my name of by degree is a quadratic. And I can see I've only got 1 term here. So when I have 1 term, that's called a monomial. This one is called a quadratic monomial. Example C, we can see our highest degree is an 8th degree, and if it's 4 or more for degrees, we're just going to say, for example, 5th degree, 6th degree. So in this case, it'll be 8th degree. We can see we've got 2 terms. So when we have 2 terms, we'll call this one an 8th degree binomial. Let's see if you can figure out what this last one is on your own. So hopefully you noticed that this is 2nd degree. So this would be a quadratic. And we've got 1, 2, 3 terms. So it's a quadratic trinomial. Our last 2 examples are a bit of a review from previous lessons. We're just going to be doing some substituting, but you just need to be aware that the word evaluate can sometimes just mean to substitute the given value. So don't be confused by that term when you see it. One thing you do need to make sure is that you're always using parentheses when you're evaluating, now that we're using exponents. Notice what I've done here. I've made sure to put the -2 everywhere there used to be a q. So I've replaced my q's here with the -2. I put parentheses every time I did that replacement. Be sure that you're using a classroom calculator to do these problems and not your phone. Your phone doesn't allow you to use parentheses, and I just see so many mistakes happen. The other thing you need to be aware of is that these are negatives, so when you put this in your calculator, use the negative button and not the minus. You could also just do the steps on your own. So for example, if I wanted to do 3 times -2, that would give me -6. I wouldn't add that 6 yet. And I have to do this exponent as well. So -2 squared is going to be -2 times -2. That will give me a positive 4. Following my order of operations, I can't do any of that addition yet, but 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 6 plus 6, those will cancel, and I'll be left with negative 12. You can also do that on a calculator, and I know I'm definitely going to do the next problem with my calculator. Since this problem has very large numbers and decimals, definitely want to grab a calculator for this one. Just like our previous problem, I took those t's and replaced them with the 5 here and here inside parentheses. Also, just want to note that you always put those exponents on the outside of the parentheses. Then I used my calculator and I kept this really simple. The calculator knows that parentheses represent multiplication. And my final answer is 187.5.